Right, hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. It's morning now, so good morning. In this video, I'm just going to be doing a walkthrough slash voiceover, whatever you want to call it, regarding my upper session on Sunday. So in my recent videos, I've just been doing like edits of my workout, and I feel like a walkthrough voiceover will kind of provide more value. I just feel like people will be able to learn something from it. So that's what we're doing, and let's get into it. So the first movement of the session was a flat dumbbell bench press. I've not actually done this movement in probably over a year, so I wasn't sure what weight to go with. I did 2 sets, top set of 5 to 9, so I picked up the 44 kg dumbbells, managed to get 7, so considering I've not done that movement in a long time, it's not too bad. The goal is to get to the 50s for 5 or 6 reps, despite being in a deficit now, so I've just started my cut. But there's no reason why you can't get stronger while in a deficit. I often get questions about what is the best exercise to develop your chest. And what you've got to realise is whether it's a flat dumbbell bench press, a barbell bench press, a machine press, the movement pattern is the same. The primary function of the pecs is literally horizontal flexion, so bringing your humerus, your upper arm, across the midline of your body. That's the primary function of the pecs. So all of these movements do that. So basically just pick an exercise you connect well with and milk that movement for as long as possible. The time to substitute that movement is literally when you stop progressing, when you've plateaued on that movement. I'd say that if you've plateaued on a movement for around a month, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, that I'd consider that a plateau. 2 weeks, that isn't a plateau. You know, you can't make gains every session, so that's what you need to do. Just substitute it after you've milked all the progress and you've hit a plateau. So yeah, just 2 sets on that exercise, so top set of 6 to 9, a back off of 10 to 15. Moving on from that, I went on to the incline machine press. So as far as equipment go at Pure Gym, this is probably the best machine in there. So with the incline machine press, what we're doing is we're prioritizing the clavicular fibers, so they run from low to high. Exactly what the incline machine press does. You're pressing from a lower position and ending up in a higher position. So this machine is prioritizing the upper chest. You're still going to hit the whole pec, but you're just going to put more emphasis on the upper chest. Like, you can't isolate your upper chest, like it's not a separate muscle. The pec is the pec, not upper chest, lower chest, mid chest. It's the same thing. So this movement, yeah, it feels really good. 3 plates each side on this one. I think I got, how many reps did I get? I think I got 7 reps. And then I did a back off set with 2 plates and a 5 on each side, and I got 14 reps with an assisted force rep at the end. So yeah, good movement, quite like this one. Like I said, as far as kick goes in Pure Gym, this is one of my favourites. You can see when I'm doing this movement, despite there being a lot of weight on the machine on both sets, like obviously with a machine you're able to lift more weight because you're not having to stabilise the weight like you would on a free weight exercise. But when I'm doing this, I'm going for a full range of motion, control the eccentric, nice slow eccentric, and then exploding up, getting a good contraction of the pecs. So yeah, this machine feels really good for me. I'm connecting well to the targeted muscle, and I'm able to overload it, get stronger with it, which is why I put it in. So again, choose something that you connect well with and you can progress on, and that's how you're gonna make progress. Don't just choose an exercise because someone said you must do this exercise, or you must bench and squat. Like, how many times you hear that? Like, you don't have to do that. Yeah, they are good movements, but if you're not connecting well with the target muscle and you're not able to get stronger with them, maybe it's not for you and you should use something else. Anyway, moving on to the next exercise, we did a row to target more of the upper back. So pronated grip on the machine. You'll see that I am protracting my scapula at the lengthen range and then retracting it when I'm trying to shorten the muscle. You might be wondering why I've done 2 pressing movements before any pulling movements. The reason being, I feel like if I did any pulling movements before my presses, I feel like it would take away from my presses. The reason being, if my upper back was fatigued, if you think about any pressing, you're pressing from your upper back. Like, your upper back is your platform to press from. So if that is fatigued, I won't be able to get as tight for my pressing movements, and I feel like, yeah, I won't be able to lift as much. And obviously doing my pulling movements after my pressing, my upper back then is already warm, so I don't really have to do as much warming up on my pulling sets. So that's the reason I do that. You can do a push, then a pull movement, then a push, then a pull, just alternate. But I prefer doing 2 pushing movements first, a couple of pulling movements, and then I'll finish it off my pushing movements on a shoulder press. But anyway, on to the next exercise. So the same machine, this one is just focusing on the lat. So on the last exercise, you see me protracting my scapula and then retracting it, going for a full range of motion. This one, what I'm doing is, because I'm trying to solely isolate the lat, what you've got to remember is that your lat does not attach to the scapula. So what I do is keep my scapula retracted throughout the movement, so it doesn't protract, it's just solely locked in, and I'm just thinking about dragging my elbow back and getting a good squeeze in the shortened range of the movement. You probably noticed as well that when I went to focus on isolating the lat on the row, I switched to the neutral grip. The reason being, all that's doing is bringing that element of arm adduction, which the lat is responsible for. So it's important to know what muscle is responsible for what movement, and then you can program the right movements into your program. So yeah, after the row, we went on to do a couple of sets on a pull down. Again, keeping my scapula retracted throughout, thinking about dragging my elbows down. There's far too many people when they're trying to target the back, they engage too much bicep and too much forearm rather than the targeting muscles like the lats. So yeah, my best tip is think about your hands as hooks. Do not pull through with your hands, and think of them as literally hooks, and you're just dragging your elbow down, pulling through your elbows. That's my best tip to try and engage your back muscles better. After that, we went on to shoulder press, plate loaded shoulder press. You'll notice when I'm doing this, I've got a slight arch in my back, keeping my chest up. In my opinion, you never want to be pressing completely vertical, because I think that is how you're going to get injured. So yeah, slight arch in your back puts you in the safest possible position to press, get your scapula nice and retracted, because if there's any joint, well, in my opinion, the most vulnerable joint in your body is your shoulder joint. I know from past experiences, you know, I've dislocated my shoulder. I know when my shoulder feels in a vulnerable position, and pressing completely vertical is definitely, yeah, it definitely doesn't feel good. So after that, I went on to doing some lat raises with dumbbells, just because the cables weren't free, and I do prefer the cables just because it keeps constant tension. So yeah, the lat raises just hit that medial delt, that side delt, to try and get that aesthetic look. Have that nice V-taper. If you've got nice round medial delts, you look a lot better, so that's what we did. And then the last two exercises we did were just for the arms, so a bicep exercise and a tricep exercise. So first one just being a cable curl. I'm not going to talk too much about biceps, about their functions. You know, they've got 3 functions and they've got 2 heads. Triceps, you've got 3 heads in the triceps, a number of different functions, but I'm not going to go into that too much now. So with the overhead cable tricep extension, that's basically hitting that long head of the tricep, so that is the biggest muscle in the tricep, so that's why I'm prioritising that one in this workout. I don't have enough time to do like 3 exercises, because on an upper workout there's a lot of movements to get through. So on my push and pull sessions, what I do is I make sure I cover all the functions that the biceps and triceps are responsible for. So yeah, I thought by just doing a walkthrough voiceover type video, people will be able to learn something by me talking about the movements I'm doing, how to execute them, a little bit about upper workout programming. But yeah, if you've got any questions about anything, obviously I can't cover every single thing about every movement and, you know, everything else. If you're unsure about anything at all, just put a comment in the comment section. I reply to everyone, all 3 people that comment. So yeah, leave a comment. Also, if you enjoyed the video, remember to drop it a like. That helps a lot with the YouTube's algorithm, the engagement side, all that kind of stuff. And if you happen to be new, remember to click the subscribe button. But for now, I think that is it, unless you want to share the video and help me reach more people. That would be really sound. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. See you later.